Today we're going to talk about finish tools and the proper tools that you need to finish almost any drywall project. We'll start with knives. There are three basic knives that you would need. It would be the 5, the 8, and the 12-inch knife. There's a 5 and an 8. You want to make sure that they have a nice arch on it. You could buy some from the store and they're real wavy, so check out the line of the knife. You can also get some fancier knives. And the more detailed project you get, you can get some different knives, which could be the 6 and the 14. A 6-inch knife would be used for some things, and if you're really good at skimming or now they make larger knives if you can handle it, but always check that it's a good blade. There are also some specialty knives that you can get, and if you have a tight corner or whatnot, maybe a spade or a knife like this to get up into an angle. Your pan is also very important. You can get a 14, a 12-inch pan or whatnot, depending on the types of knives that you're using and the finish work. Check out the pan and make sure it's in good shape when you buy it. A nice metal pan will last you a long time. Another important aspect with your knives, when you first buy them, they have a real shiny coat on them from the manufacturing. Some of them also have stickers. You can use a razor blade or paint thinner to loosen up the glue and take the stickers off. But I also recommend that you take some sandpaper, 220 grit fine sandpaper, and work on the knife to scuff up the edges. This helps grab the mud. It helps keep the form. Always check the knives, the corner of these. You want to make sure they're in good shape. Over time they get wore down and rounded out. These knives are used for up in your angles of walls. Sometimes if you drop them they get bent. If it's not too bad you can sand it out, but if they get damaged enough, just throw it away and buy a new one. Buying new knives, make sure the arch of the blade is consistent, not wavy, and a nice arch. You also want to be aware of what the front and the back of the knife are. When you start using them, you want to use the arch going against the wall. So this particular one arches this way. This is my front, and so this is where I'm using. Oftentimes I push harder on the outside edges in order to knock down my mud on the outside edges. So always use the same side of the knife to your wall, so you aren't messing it up by pushing on the back side and the front side at different times and intervals. Make it wavy and then your knife is worthless. There are several different types of tapes on the market. You have your standard paper tape. This has been used for quite some time. They're making them now with a crease in the middle in order to do your inside angles. Newer on the product is a fiberglass tape. This is working real well. We're finding it's very nice to use. You have standard mesh tape. It has a sticky side to it. It does stick to walls and surfaces pretty easy. It's harder to skim out. Sometimes you need to coat it large. It comes in various thicknesses and styles. You can get them very large too for large repairs, and even plaster repair comes in handy. Another item you want to buy is a mixer for your mud and the drill that would go along with it, of course, to help mix your mud. They also make handheld mixers. When setting up for drywall, the right rags are important as well. A nice cloth rag to dry pans and knives after you clean them. I also have cloth that would be soaked in water, so if I have to set my pan aside for a period of time, I can put the rag over it and it keeps the mud fresh. A bucket of water is always important when you're setting up for drywall. Use the water to add into your mud to make it thinner. You're also going to use it to clean your tools. I like to use a brush, standard cleaning brush, to clean the tools, knives and pans. It gets into the corners real well. I find it's best to put a screw in here and it can hang on the side of your bucket. I use a screw that's made for subfloors that don't rust. Of course, the proper ladders, scaffolding, stilts, planks, in order to get you comfortably into the areas that you need to finish.